Hey, he says, I'm just going to give you kind of a little bit of a rundown on what I think, um, and also I guess like how to grow a following in general. Um, Now, the first thing is I'm not really quite sure what you mean by you want to. It sounded like you wanted to like just blog, like your normal blog, spiritually minded blog articles, right? But then on the side, you want to create these short stories, which I guess are also kind of, religious and with some sort of backstory to them, I guess, in that respect. But I think that, I mean, and you want to make them available for download. I get that. I think that what you kind of have to do, I mean, this is just generally how you grow an audience. Or sorry. First of all, this is generally, yeah, you want to stay consistent. I think that your blog articles and your short stories should be more like one and the same. I don't think that, I don't know. Let me just get into this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at something like this, if you know this guy's name is Nomadic Matt, he somebody that I used to follow a lot when I was traveling, and he does this really well. Where he, excuse me, he does this really well. Where he has this great blog, great content that people love, and this might be kind of a model for you. I don't know, but he has this blog which a lot of people follow. And then what he does is he sells his self-published guides individually. There's something like, I don't know, $2 or $3 or something like that. And that's kind of, I guess that's how he makes most of his money. Now, what am I trying to say? So he does this, but the what I want to show you, the reason that how he grows his following so big and how he got so big is because of this little thing down here. Excuse me. So you have you have a subscribe button, or you had one or something like that. Excuse me. On your blog, which is great. There's not to say that that's the wrong thing to do, but the thing is, unless you give somebody a really good reason to do it, nobody's really going to subscribe. You probably have a few of us, your family and friends and things like that, who will subscribe because they really want to hear what you have to say. You may get a few others kind of trickle in there. It's not to say that you can't get anybody to trickle in, but sorry. But the average person stumbling across your blog does not have any real incentive to actually subscribe to your blog article, nor do they have any incentive to follow your Facebook or your Instagram or anything like that. And so how you really grow a following is you have great content. You maybe even have something for sale. But beyond that, you have something else, something of more value that you trade in exchange for an email address. And you may create that yourself. It might be a guide of some sort. It could be his sign up for free case studies plus my best money saving travel tips, right? He has like a PDF download, and I think maybe what you had envisioned was this is your short stories, but I don't think this is your short stories, because your short stories, like, although entertaining and maybe you learn something through them, there's no real tangible value to them, right? And so people buy books, people buy short stories, but I don't think people really subscribe in exchange for a short story, for example. What they subscribe for, what they trade their email address for, is something that can give them real tangible value, something that preferably doesn't cost you anything. Something like this, Matt created, probably years ago, and is just trading in exchange for an email address. And what happens is he has all of these people who have read his articles before. The information seems really good. He's helped them maybe in some other way. And so, he gets them with this, like, okay, these people are, we know that Matt is like this expert traveler, and he knows how to save us money. So someone like me, 3 or 4 years ago, would maybe stumble across his blog, and I've been trying to extend my cash as far as I can. And so I might be caught by something like this. So this is something that holds real tangible value to me. Maybe it's going to save me a few dollars over the course of, my travels, whatever. And so this is how he's going to get email addresses. Once he has email addresses, he doesn't have mine. I didn't do this, but as soon as he has email addresses, he can send them messages. He can talk about products that he has for sale. He can send them social media and all sorts of stuff. And none of this is a bad thing. It kind of sounds like a trick in a way. And I guess in a way it is kind of a trick. You're tricking me into whatever. But you are actually offering value to the person that you are asking for an email address. And I mean, that's really the bottom line here. And so in terms of like how you could grow your following, Mila's like crawling very slowly, and then she sees me looking and she goes much faster. You create something that can save people money, or as a guide for, I don't know, even if it was like a daily devotion or something like that. I mean, that would be really cool, right? You offer that in exchange for an email address, and then because people don't care as much as maybe they used to about just getting email updates when you updated your blog. So this is the way to go, I think. And then from there, you can publish your blog articles and you can publish your short stories. Although I wouldn't think that your blog articles and your short stories are necessarily like separate. I don't know why we're downloading your short stories and looking at your blog articles on the blog, whereas you could just publish your short stories on the blog as well. So that's my real question to you. Possibly it's something like where Nomadic Matt does it right here, where he sells these guides. Maybe you sell a short story like you would sell a book on the Kindle store, Amazon for $1, $2, $3, whatever it is. I don't really know, but and then you have like your blog, which is great content. But what I'm trying to get at is your blog and your and your short stories need to be the same kind of content. They can't be like it can't be like you have short stories which are entertaining and then blog articles which are like life lessons. You know, that it just doesn't really make sense. People aren't going to care, I guess, and you're not going to attract. You're not going to attract two different kinds of people to the same blog because they're both going to feel a bit like, why am I here? And so, I mean, that's really the thing is I would suggest first focusing in on your niche, which is Jesus. That's your passion. Like you just told me, and which is vague, by the way. You said it's not vague, but it totally is, because you can serve Jesus doing just about anything in the world. So it's actually probably the vaguest answer you could possibly come up with, even if it sounds specific to you.
Give us some suggestions.
About what?
About different topics within Jesus.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to say, focus on your niche, where you write about, you know, Jesus' spirituality in both your blog articles and your short stories, and try to attract that kind of audience. And then, you know, you're going to grow your audience naturally through, again, offering something for free in exchange for email addresses, encouraging people to see you on social media, and creating things that are really like shareable. I know that sounds vague as well, but things that connect people together and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, that's really what I have to say. But I do think that you should focus on this. I think it sounds like a noble pursuit, and your passion for Jesus, which is vague, could lead you here, just like it could lead you to working at a hospital, you know, which is totally different. Could lead you to making burritos. You have no idea. And so that's why it's vague. All right. So my question about what's your passion and about the answer Jesus being vague is kind of saying, like, hone in. If your passion is helping people come to Jesus, for example, this could be your means of doing that potentially, or if it could be helping people further their walks with Christ, this could be your means of doing that. And so what I think you should do is find your reason, find your passion. What is behind Jesus, the all-arching category of Jesus that makes you want to do something like this, and then really tackle it. Say, okay, actually, my passion is helping people strengthen their relationship with Jesus. And I love writing, you know, and so I can combine those two things together. And yeah, 1 second, Shets. I can combine those two things together, and